Hmm. Purpose is not passion, it's responsibility. Before we begin, I want to set a simple intention for this conversation. This is not a motivational talk. It's not about quick answers or perfect solutions. It's a space for reflection, clarity, and responsibility. Some of what I'll share may feel affirming. Some may feel uncomfortable. However, both are useful. If something resonates, sit with it. If something challenges you, stay curious. The goal isn't agreement, it's understanding. With that, let's begin. Purpose is one of the most overused and misunderstood words in leadership. We're told to find our passion, do what we love, follow what excites us. But here's the problem. Passion rises and falls. Responsibility remains. And confusing the two is why so many capable people feel lost. So let's name the real problem. Passion is not bad. It's powerful. It can start things. It can energize you. But it's emotional. It depends on mood, recognition, momentum, even how much sleep you got the night before. Purpose is different. Purpose is ethical. Passion asks, why do I enjoy this? Purpose asks, what have I been entrusted with? And passion asks, what excites me right now? Purpose asks, who is affected by my decisions? That distinction changes everything, especially in leadership, especially in education, especially in service-oriented work. Because if you build your identity on passion, what happens when you don't feel inspired? Do you assume you've lost purpose? Do you assume that you've lost your purpose? That's where a lot of confusion begins. So let me reframe this. Purpose is not constant enthusiasm. Purpose is stewardship. It's responsibility. It's the recognition that someone has been placed in your care. And that requires clarity. So when you feel uncertain, here is a simple lens you can apply. What have I been entrusted with? Who is affected by my decisions? And what happens if I avoid clarity? That third question is important because avoidance feels easier in the short term. But leadership avoidance always has consequences. A teacher may not feel passionate every single day, but they remain responsible for the learning environment. A nonprofit leader may feel exhausted, but they remain responsible for mission alignment. A business owner may feel discouraged, but they remain responsible for financial stability and ethical direction. Purpose doesn't disappear when passion fades. In many cases, it actually becomes clearer. Because when the excitement quiets down, responsibility is what's left. Why this confusion is dangerous in systems? This confusion shows up everywhere, in universities, in nonprofits, in corporate leadership, in classrooms. When institutions frame purpose as passion, a few things start to happen. Burnout increases because people think they're supposed to feel inspired all the time. Accountability weakens because when someone says, I'm just not passionate about this anymore, it becomes an exit. Leadership becomes performative. It turns into energy, visibility, and optics instead of stewardship. But when purpose is framed as responsibility, something stabilizes. Decision making improves. Validation seeking decreases. People stop asking, do I feel excited? And start asking, am I acting clearly? And progress becomes sustainable. Systems don't need more excitement. They need more grounded stewardship. I've seen this tension repeatedly. Highly capable people, deeply committed, thoughtful, and still questioning themselves. Not because they lack direction, but because they were taught to look inward for purpose instead of outward at responsibility. They were told, find what lights you up, but no one asked them, what are you accountable for? That shift changes how you interpret your own doubts. Instead of saying, I don't feel passionate, maybe this isn't for me, you begin to ask, what is my responsibility here? That question brings clarity. And clarity is far more powerful than enthusiasm. Here's the transformation. When purpose becomes responsibility, something shifts. You stop chasing aspiration. You stop measuring your value by emotional intensity. You begin acting with steadiness. And steadiness builds trust. Trust builds credibility. Credibility builds impact. Of course, passion can ignite the journey, but responsibility sustains it. That is the difference between motivation and maturity, between excitement and leadership. We are living in a time where leadership fatigue is real. Purpose fatigue is real. People are tired. Institutions are strained. everything feels unstable, emotional passion is even more unstable. Responsibility, however, anchors you. It doesn't require applause. It doesn't depend on recognition. It asks, what is mine to steward? What is mine to protect? What is mine to build? And what happens if I don't? Those are sobering questions, but they are clarifying ones. This lens, purpose as responsibility, is something I bring into student leadership spaces, nonprofit teams, and organizations navigating burnout and transition. Especially when people are saying we've lost our sense of purpose. Often, they haven't lost purpose. They've confused it with emotion. If your institution is wrestling with that tension, you'll find engagement information below. And if this challenges you personally, sit with it. Responsibility has a way of clarifying direction. Passion can start the journey, for sure, but responsibility sustains it. That's the difference between inspiration and purpose. Again, I am glad that you're here.